Hello everyone, today we're going to learn how to write a persuasive letter and identify its format. Your reference is your student book, page 142. Can you identify the problem in this picture? What can you see in the man's eyes? Do you think he's angry, blue, upset, frustrated, or even irate? What do you think happened in this village? What if I tell you that these villagers cannot grow vegetables anymore or catch fish because of oil pollution? What would you do if you were in their shoes or situation? What do you think they did? Actually, the village chief wrote a letter to the managing director of the company responsible for the oil spill. Would you do the same? Would you write a letter to the person in charge if you have a problem? When someone needs to persuade others towards accepting their issues or point of view, they write a persuasive letter. When people have a public problem that affects their community, they usually write a persuasive letter to ask organizations in charge to find a solution. In this lesson, the villagers took a positive action to face their problem. The oil industry in the Delta region of Nigeria causes a lot of pollution. Villagers find it difficult to grow food. The pollution is also bad for their health. The villagers want the oil company to stop polluting their land. The village chief wrote to the managing director of Southern Oil. This is the letter that the chief wrote to the manager as a model writing for you to have a look at. We're going to sort out the parts of the letter later, but now we're going to focus on the message and the persuasive message itself. Let's read it. Dear Mr. Danvodio, pollution at Back Bay. I'm writing to inform you that the oil wells in Back Bay are still polluting our rivers and killing the fish. Oil is flooding the palm forest and the trees are dying. This is the third letter which we have sent. You have not replied. The residents of Back Bay are going to take legal action and your company will be hearing from our lawyer shortly. They are also starting a campaign against your company. I await your reply. Yours sincerely, James Otunde, Village Chief. In order to help you produce your own persuasive letter, you need to answer the following questions to identify the format and the features of a persuasive letter. Question number 1. Who is your audience? The audience in this letter is Mr. Danfodio, but for your own letter you need to decide who you're having the problem with or who you're having the argument with. They will be your audience. Question number 2. What is the purpose of the letter? The purpose of persuasive letters is to bring the audience round to your opinion. The purpose of this letter is to get the audience to end the pollution of the rivers as this is causing both fish and trees to die. Persuasive letters are normally written in the present tense and contain emotive language, which means you need to express your own emotions using your own language. Present tense is presented in I'm writing, are polluting, is flooding, and so on. Question number 3. What should you include in the first paragraph? The purpose should be explained clearly in the first paragraph. As here, the chief is explaining why he is writing the letter. Together with your opinion on the subject of the letter, he is stating that this is still happening. The process of polluting is still going on. Question number 4. What should you include in the next paragraph? Subsequent paragraphs will contain the main arguments and evidence to support each. Make statements that the reader cannot disagree with. So, in order to reinforce your opinion, you might say, you can't want these people to starve if this continues to happen. Or maybe you include some rhetorical questions like, do you want these people to starve? Question number 5. What should be included in the final paragraph? The final paragraph needs to be a strong summary of the argument contained in the letter. It should repeat and reinforce your opinion. So this should sum it up. A piece of note you should remember. A persuasive letter should be friendly. You shouldn't attack. And reasonable. You should state your point in a way that would make people feel sympathy or agree with your opinion. It should contain your opinions and evidence to support your argument, as well as phrases such as "it will mean that" or "this will cause," and then state your problem. So here are the parts of the persuasive letter, and on the top left corner you can find the sender's address, your address, with the zip code. Then comes the recipient's address. You need also to specify the person you're sending to for more formality. Then skip a line, or on the same line you write the date. Then comes the greeting. You salute the person you are sending the letter to. Then comes the body of the letter itself, with the first paragraph stating your point and supporting the point of view with reasons, and then concluding it with a paragraph for the statements that are powerful to sum up your point of view. At the end, you add the closing, and then finally, you write your name or signature. I added here one more sample of a persuasive letter so you're more confident with writing your own. Let's sort out the parts so you know more what to include in each. Here, the first one is the heading, where you put your name and address as said before. And if you notice that the recipient's address is missing, which is something very possible at times. The date, here comes the second one after skipping one line, and it's the date when you wrote the letter on. Then comes the greeting, where you say your hello. Then the first paragraph states your opinion. Clearly state why you are writing this letter. Then comes the reasons, which are backup to your opinion with reasons and facts. Number 6 comes the solution that offer some way out to the problem. Number 7 is the closing, with you using a strong statement to end your letter with. And then finally, your signature or name. Now take a few minutes to read this very good letter. Here I added the rubric that your persuasive letter will be evaluated upon. First, you need to make sure that you complete all the parts of the letter with the features required for persuasive writing, starting from the heading, where you put your address and date, followed by the greeting with "Dear" and followed by a comma. And then comes the body with 3 main idea paragraphs to state clearly your opinion, and then focus on the topic you're addressing, and then state the reasons, stressing out the persuasive strategies you are using. Keep your tone respectful toward the audience. Then you include the closing, for example, sincerely, comma, with love, comma, and then your signature. The second step you need to focus on is formatting and mechanics. You need to keep spacing or paragraphing, which means you need to skip a line between each paragraph and the other, and then make sure that your spelling and grammar are correct. Here are the marks allotted for each field. Good luck.